Like the stock market and housing market, the job market has been hot recently, and 2020 has been one of the most significant years since the Great Depression. Or maybe the Great Economic Crisis of 2008 was one of the pivotal years in our memory. But disputes aside, the market is market. It's live, it's active, it's shifting, and it can be in crisis just like today. According to 2021 Bureau of Labor Statistics report, the annual total separation rate in 2020 was more than 57%. It is expected to have a similar turnover rate this year, suggesting that the US workers will continue looking for new jobs, which is estimated at 52%. Employees state that the main reason that make them actually leave their employers is because of the latter's intolerance to the idea to let them work remotely, and some proportion of high-paid workers are even ready for the first time in history to cut their salary and take up another job with a lower pay just to preserve the freedom to log in from anywhere. Unlike 2008, the 2020 economic shutdown triggered a devastating number of layoffs. But even before the COVID times, employers already experienced high turnover rates, and different labor experts are now predicting a fresh wave of voluntary departures and resignations, and are getting prepared for a turnover tsunami, which is anticipated right after the pandemic officially ends. And I was thinking about why is that happening and how it would influence us, people who are ready to work hard. What is next for us? And with these questions in mind, let's start the deep factual philosophical work tale. Hey guys, my name is Manshuk and welcome to my channel. If you guys enjoy my videos, just do me a tiny favor and press the like button to make my day, because not all people actually do it, and this will be our fair exchange of thank yous. And for this I want to say simple and genuine thank you. I appreciate each of you guys, and God bless you with a great job that brings you life satisfaction and 8-figure salary. So what are the possible causes of this turnover tsunami that started last year and continues today? Many psychologists and researchers suggest that one of the biggest factors of the much anticipated turnover tsunami was caused by employees burning out. And with this continuing pandemic, it's obvious that workers feel less connected to their companies, and the overall demise of various myths like powerful company cultures. Working longer hours, as well as employees' inability to shut down company-provided laptops and phones being always accessible, all this brought to human exhaustion in masses. Employees more and more became demotivated with their employers because of a lack of leadership, not caring for their well-being, of the underlying hierarchy of workers, who in turn struggle with different challenges that they haven't faced in their lives before. And all of it contributes to the feeling of being non-valued and ignored and burned out, and contributed to the massive job turns. Employers didn't measure employees switching jobs up until the 19th century, with the rise of manufacturing and the mass exodus of workers from the agricultural sector. In 1920s and 30s, workers' turnover exceeded 100% annually, with significant fluctuations during the economic crises and 2 world wars. But when the economy was growing and labor conditions were improving, that was mainly thanks to offering various corporate perks to employees who desperately needed it, and the companies were happily sharing a small portion of their profits to keep as many employees happy post-war times. And that's when sweet relationship between employees and employers were flourishing. However, the status quo didn't last forever, and as the overall economy kept growing, and with the rise of internet and technology, employees became less satisfied with their working conditions and pay, and growing high expectations from them. Employers in their turn focused on keeping up with the rapidly growing market demands, and this shift in attention has substantially flipped employees' perception about the overall fairness of the labor exchange, and the turnover was growing slightly but consistently, but nothing was abrupt and shocking up until 2020. Just to be clear, healthy turnover is good. It helps organizations develop new products, it helps to look at the competition in a different way. In general, it has a lot of advantages to change staff at reasonable levels, but again, imbalanced turnover can cause serious problems for businesses and governments, and potentially a turnover tsunami is coming to the job market to flush all that has been built for years. For highly skilled employees, long-term contract agreements, perks, and job security started to matter less, and now people want more free time to balance their personal lives and relationship, even in exchange for lesser pay. So in general, 10% is a good figure to aim for an average employee turnover rate, and the United States recorded something between 15 to 22% of employee turnover before the pandemic through various sectors. And the primary category of people who are quitting massively today are millennials. And speaking of millennials, they will make up 75% of the workforce by 2025. And younger generation of employees called Gen Z will be the second most impactful workforce population who expect freedom more than anyone living today. And therefore, the sooner the employers actually realize there is no way back to the old system, the better for all. More freedom develops more trust and employees' empowerment, and there is literally no need to babysit employees like it was in the past, because naturally people are striving to make decisions once they know their goals and expectations. And if companies appreciate employees and treat them with respect while providing fair compensation necessary and with all the benefits and perks, people will stay in organization just because of the natural human desire to provide stability and security for themselves. It's not something undoable for companies to stop the turnover tsunami with all that I mentioned before. Bring that to the table and boom, employees will be lethargic to look for other jobs because people are generally lazy, especially when everything is quite good in their lives. So exploiting that human quality would do magic for corporations, and I don't know why they're not doing it well so far. It became a similar pattern in the United States, just like in Japan, where employees feel guilty about going for vacations. In the US, more than half of the employees working from home developed a guilt of not sufficiently being productive, and consequently, employees now believe they have to compensate for being far from their manager's eyes by starting their workdays earlier or working later. And the turnover tsunami has also forced aged people retire earlier than they initially planned because of the health and family issues, feeling guilty before their kids who literally suck at online homeschooling, especially with little kids, or just simply being risk averse to expose themselves to different viruses. According to the almighty SHRM organization, turnover tsunami is expected when the pandemic also ends, because of their research studies show that as many as half of the workers intend to look for a new job this year. And this is an unbelievable turnover rate, to put it simply. So the job market has been fluctuating as long as the pandemic lasts, and the mood of employees constantly change. And before the pandemic started, the US turnover rate was already alarming, with 3.5 million people leaving their jobs every month. And that figure dropped to almost 2 million people, and the job opening levels doubled today if we compare it with the 12 months difference, signifying that people are needed desperately to fill those gaps, but there is a shortage of labor, and now the job market seems to be in real crisis. So what millennials do today? I guess we are all rethinking our lives and trying to improve our working and living conditions, because most of us who work for corporations, consulting firms, at some point we were all suffocating from the dispersed corporate air. So with a new wave of fresh air to inject into our lungs and actually start enjoying life, for those who are hustling, it's a great way to become financially independent and turning your hobbies into work and building more passive income streams. And for those who are ambitious to build careers in corporations, I advise you to be honest with your employer and say what you really feel and need. More freedom, more money, more respect, more empathy, and more interesting projects should not make your manager decide to fire you. Just be vocal about your needs. Employers need employees the same way as we need them. This is a great time to find a great job in a great company, but it should be mutual and fair. And with that said, thank you so much for checking out my video. I wish you good luck in everything that you want from your professional life. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe button, and all the useful links are in the description, so click on them please. Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching again, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.